Greetings and salutations. Coffee time. Teddy Tarr, one of your neighborhood psychologists, and my good friend Guillermo. And today we are going to share our conversation about the essential self. Now, some of this is going to be sort of ad lib. We kind of just have been talking, and some of it is going to be a prepared lecture. So I just want to give you an idea of what you're going to be listening to for the last 20 minutes or so. And Guillermo, would you kind of review the other videos that we did?
Sure. This is our fourth video that we have put together for hopefully to help you, guide you through these days that we are going through and these times that we're experiencing. Our first video was the introduction, the unwanted coronavirus that won't go away. The second video was about resiliency, the little engine that thought could not go. The third video was playing a poor hand well. Alfred Adler, his amazing take on the individual in social and community worlds. And our fourth video, today's video, is going to be your essential self. You know the you and yourself, special essence unlike anyone else. And Chicken Little makes a debut after Disney short in 1943.
So, my essential self. First, I'm going to have Guillermo talk about that little peep, Chicken Little. And probably the only thing you remember is the sky is falling, the sky is falling. But there was a lot more to it. Disney recorded that film in 1943. And, well, I'm going to let Guillermo explain that. Secondly, the anxiety and fears that have plagued our human existence are certainly present right now with all of this virus stuff. Third, tied together, the virus, the little engine that could, and Chicken Little. I hope I'm going to be able to do that towards the end. And some tips on handling your anxiety. So, my essential self, my essence, who I am, how I know myself, how others know me, and how sometimes high anxiety can attack the fabric of my existence. We are somewhat taken prisoner by our perceptions. Our perceptions are really strong, and they're not so ready to change. It takes a lot of work to change a belief system or a perception about something or a political, religious idea. So Chicken Little, an excellent example of how an event can compel one to behaviors that endanger oneself, either mentally or, in this case, physically. And the story speaks to all of us about co-journeying with our friend group and choosing wisely and maybe making sure they're supportive and they're not going to lead us into danger, i.e. maybe drugs, maybe alcohol today, maybe going places and doing things, climbing over the fence and not wanting to do the distancing right now. Understandable, but not acceptable. How about talking about Chicken Little?
Well, Chicken Little was a moralistic story that was trying to convince the world that the world was going to end when an acorn fell in his head.
That's right.
So this story got everybody listening and believing in something that was not reality. They abandoned all reasoning and common sense and followed Foxy Loxy, the Willy Fox, into the den where he eats them.
Which is really horrible.
So again, you know,
it took Disney about 20 minutes to tell you that.
it took me 20 minutes to tell you the whole story, but at the end of the day, it was the sky was falling. It's a story about people trying to convince other people about something that was not a reality.
Yeah.
And it was, in essence, not a fact of what was really going on. And it's pretty similar to what was going on today,
Yeah.
I think. Don't you think?
I do, and if you recall, in 1941, when I was born, Pearl Harbor, that was when Pearl Harbor was attacked. And Roosevelt could not get anyone into that war. He was sending planes and ammunition and things to England to help them survive. But it was politically at that time not acceptable by the population. So
Right.
this story, it's sort of related to that.
Yeah, in essence, Whitney G. Jurgensen also has a take on the story, and Mark Gilbert in 2010 wrote a piece He talks about being aware of gossip and hysteria, carefully choosing friends and thinking rationally. You might want to check that out.
Yes, you know, Google Chicken Little and really get into some of the details of it and how Disney ran the story. I really like having something, like a book, a story or something that we can go from. In fact, I happened to turn on Sunday, just by accident, Tim McGraw and John, what was his name, Jon, John, I forget his last name. He's a very famous author who does a lot of presidential biographies, but they just wrote a book, an American songbook, and taking all of the songs, patriotic songs, from like before the slave times, all the way up until now, and showing how all of our rich culture, our arts, our dance, our songs, go right along with what's going on in history. And in fact, I ordered that book. Anyway, leadership carries a heavy responsibility. Often it's a very thankless job. You can get shot even if you don't go on stage. I always think about Lincoln. You know, the joke was, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Yeah, did you like the popcorn? But he wasn't on stage when he was shot. So people are very judgmental if you get out there. You know, even doing the videos, it occurs to me that every time I sit here with you, you know, we're getting judged on some level. And poor Tony, I mean, you know, he's the technician here. It's his sound, his camera, and so on and so forth. So why are we doing this, Guillermo? Remind me.
Well, we're doing it to make people aware that not everything that you hear is facts, and you have to really believe on yourself and be confident in yourself of what you want to do, and try to listen to the people that love you and that take care of you, rather than the hysteria that people create for other benefits.
I love that, and that includes friends. Choose your friends wisely. If they're not in tune at all and they're out of touch with reality, and they think that, oh, it's just going to go away, or they think that we're all going to die in 2 years, I think both positions are overwhelmingly anxiety producing.
Yes.
And I don't need either of them. So Chicken Little, the big mistake he had was taking one small thing and overgeneralizing it. But his friends, remember, his friends probably shouldn't have listened. He was very teensy, and he wasn't well respected.
No.
But they had their own anxieties and fears, and what it did was it fed into them. And I think when you read the information on Chicken Little about Disney and the propaganda and the film, you'll see that Disney was trying to keep America, well, whoever did the script, from believing the propaganda that the Germans were putting out at that time.
Which is kind of balances, if you think about what is going on today to what
Exactly.
was going on in 1941 or 42 when it was done, the anxiety that's being created without facts.
The same kind of thing. The manipulation, and we have to remember that news programs, not that they're not good, are also selling their time and space. Sure. So they have to do things that are controversial and that are dramatic. Each of us receives wanted and unwanted advice. So a good code journey is one of active listening and summarizing choices, supporting outcomes that seem smart. Anxiety can be created just out of our fears, and by taking too much responsibility for something we don't have any responsibility for. We cannot stop this virus. We can only do what we can do to help the healthcare system not get so impacted at one time by it. Chicken Little's failure was to not check out what being hit on the head really meant. Well, he didn't go to one of our urgent care centers. Of course, he would have needed, at this time, a prescription of some sort, because they're not open to just anyone anymore. Am I right?
Yes.
So.
Well, can I go back to the lessons from Chicken Little?
Yeah, please.
Because I have it's kind of interesting. If you read or think about lessons from Chicken Little, it's pay attention to what's being said. Check it out. Watch who you follow. Don't be so hard on yourself for making mistakes. Change directions if necessary. Recognize danger for yourself. Those are important things to believe in what, instead of listening so faithfully to people that you don't really know and you don't really love, can create a lot of problems.
Absolutely. What about that fox?
Well, here's the continuing on your end.
Yeah.
The fox must have had bad parenting.
Yeah, parenting.
That fox must have bad parenting. Friend groups can be very influential. You are known by the company you keep. Also dressing for success if you want to find new employment. Not sharing everything on Facebook. Certainly being able to separate personal from informative to share. Again, I always tell my employees, don't put everything in Facebook that you don't want other people to know about.
Yes.
Because number one, it will create problems for you. Number two, you don't want to let the world know where are you at and what are you doing all the time.
Yes, yes. And I often say, don't tell anyone in any social media what you wouldn't tell if they were sitting with you. Because it seems like you can tell your secrets, but everybody who is on Facebook or on any of the social media, they're all listening. So, a Chicken Little probably is present in all of us to a degree. All of us can at times have too much anxiety or be overwhelmed by something. I'm reminded that a couple people, the minute they have a sore throat right now, or they feel bad at all, they think they have the virus, and they're calling me. I think I have the virus. Yeah, I'm running a temperature. I say, how high is it? 98.6. I don't think that's the virus. I think the virus is going to go up a little bit.
And this is so difficult. Not focus others to keep the sky from falling. Take responsibility for your corner of the sky. Sing your own song. Be yourself. Don't believe what others tells you without verifying it for yourself. What do Chicken Little and the virus have in common? Fear of the unknown. It was World War II when Disney released a short version of Little Chicken. We need to remember our purpose was to slow down the virus, not stop it. That is going to take the vaccine to be able to take care of it.
That's right. And I also think that models are just models. Models are good in that they're helping people to have an idea of what can happen, to prepare and such. But a model is not the same as history. Right. You set up a model today, but that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. I think right now there's a lot of negativity out there, and we need to hold on to what we know and not go ahead of the game here. Individuals, I wanted to talk a little about optimism and pessimism. Individuals who are very optimistic in general usually see things that they feel are situationally caused. That it's not about them necessarily, but more about the situation. Those of us who have more pessimistic, negative orientations see it as more a personal failure. Well, this may surprise you, but individuals who has a grasp of reality actually fare better than the optimist or the pessimist. Because if you have more of a reality orientation, you're able to think in terms of what problems could arise and how you can manage them. So my take on Chicken Little, my fears and anxieties need a voice. I don't have to go running to everyone else, but they need a voice. I need to hear them. Once heard, I can choose how to deal with them. My own self-talk can tell me what's going on. Is it about what's really going on, or is it about other fears? The minute the hurricane season comes here, and I'm already hearing people say, oh my God, what if we get a hurricane and we have the, wait a minute, let's not go there.
Let's don't get ahead of
Let's
ourselves.
not get ahead of this. We still have some time here. The only adage, the fox often comes in sheep's clothing. The fox doesn't always wear a sign that says, I'm the fox. I think that's important. Mass hysteria, not uncommon for one person to spread falsehoods and rumors. No one holds all the truth. Having respect, being humble and kind, having responses and actions that sometimes, that shouldn't trump our thoughts and beliefs, but they do. We need to work out of not only our feeling set and our thought set, but our belief set. Our beliefs are a lot more founded in our moral fiber than what our reactions can be. A rational adult employs a defensive, pessimistic posture to anticipate problems and self-doubt to motivate effective action when something is important. So, being able to think ahead and to say, okay, I'm really tired of this. I am so tired of being in. I want to go to a restaurant. So I'm just going to drive up. I think Palm Beach is opening their restaurants. I'm going to drive up and have dinner up at the restaurant. All right? Well, that's an impulse, and also it makes sense. I've been sitting here now, so what, 7, 8 weeks? And I'd like to do that. But my rational thoughts are, you know, if everybody from Miami-Dade runs up to Palm Beach, what's going to happen here?
Or to the Keys when they open.
No, or the Keys. Either one. I told someone who was living in the Keys, shh. They said, you know, there's so few cases here. I said, shh. Or there will be a whole lot more. And that was before they closed. So, self-fulfilling prophecy, if I'm very, very negative and I don't have any optimism, can be a problem. We need to stay somewhere in the middle here. Ambivalence can trigger even more fears. I don't want to make a decision. I'm not going to go to Palm Beach. I'm going to wait into our local restaurants, and I'm going to observe whatever it is that I need to do down here.
It's hard to let go of beliefs.
Yeah.
Very hard to let go of beliefs. Like a monkey hanging on 2 branches, holding them to see what's going to happen.
And they can't swing forward.
And they cannot swing back or forwards. We need to move forward. We need to learn to move forward. We totally close our minds to new ideas, new things. We'll always stay behind the eight ball. So we need to create new ideas, be forceful in our belief that we have to believe in ourselves, in what we hear from our people that love us, want us to move forward with our lives.
That's right. That's right.
Good mental health. Somewhat a distortion of reality.
It's hard to believe that, but it really is.
Those who are all very anxious and fearful are in touch with all the negative things that can happen. It can shut down your life, and it can give you, impair you from moving forward.
I don't know if anyone else has been in a line at Publix, but where you have somebody next to you, like 6 feet from you, but unfortunately that doesn't stop the voice from traveling. And I was stuck with somebody who believed in conspiracy theories and who was sharing with everyone around about these theories. I could hardly wait to get in the store. So sometimes someone who's fearful or anxious or talking in a very nervous tone can affect how you feel. They can rocket you.
But Teddy, living takes courage.
Takes a lot of courage.
Goals, self-control.
Right. Right.
Death can find you in a closet. Like will never look for you.
No, life isn't going to go hunting.
Life is going to go on.
Yeah, it's going to let you go right there and sit in the closet and wait. I love the commercials with the Grim Reaper. You know, I remember the one night though I was watching, and one of the talk shows had the Grim Reaper. Well, he was talking seriously about the virus. All of a sudden, the Grim Reaper in full garb comes across with this huge sickle and comes across the stage. And I have to admit it was funny. But
well, let's take anxiety, for
death
example.
is not funny. Yes.
Let's take anxiety, for example.
Yeah.
A natural response to stress, fears, and apprehension about what is to come.
Right.
Individuals with depression lack enough stimulus in their life, and they have the anxiety. They build up the anxiety, and they cannot function properly.
Nope. No, that's true. Overwhelmed by the stimulation.
That's why anxiety, if you let it uncontrollable, will create panic attacks. Yeah. You become obsessive, compulsive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of anxieties can create a lot of issues that prevent you from moving forward.
Even a post-traumatic stress disorder, that used to be a disorder classified as an anxiety disorder. It's now classified from the fact that you have a trauma. So first the trauma hits, and almost anyone who would have that particular trauma, which is very scary and life-threatening, you know, even the people who have witnessed somebody going in the hospital on a ventilator, and even them coming home, they're going to be more anxious about anything right now than someone else might be. So the unknown triggers a lot of anxieties and fears. Loss of the hopeful. You know, we talk about helplessness, hopelessness, haplessness. Haplessness is everything happens to me. There are plenty of people who it seems like it happens to them, negative things. Hopeful. To be hopeful about something, it has to be reality-based. But you can become helpless and feeling helpless by shutting yourself down and not doing what you can do. And we can become then more pessimistic and discouraged. So my approach, again, it's the same thing. Too hopeless is at this end, and too hopeful is at this end. Just hopeful enough. Just hopeful enough that Miami-Dade did not get we didn't get what we thought. Florida did not get it like we thought we would. Our hospitals are not overwhelmed.
At all.
And they're trying to keep it such. Having faith that the people who are making the decisions, so I understand it's health, business, different groups that are deciding how to open up. And they're right, we can't stay like this forever, we know that.
Yeah.
So, and there's always going to be some risk, and there's always going to be some loss probably from this. When I went online, I was very impressed with the Mayo Clinic. They have a wonderful outline about anxiety, and I would invite you to take a look if you happen to be a person who easily gets upset, worries. They define anxiety as persistent worry and fear about everyday situations that actually interfere. You know, if it isn't a problem for you and it's a problem for someone else, they'll usually bring you in. But in general, we don't address things that people are having that aren't a problem for them. We usually, professionally, address the things they come in with and for. Now, while they're here, they might uncover something, but in truth, anxiety can be from opening up too much, all at one time.
All at one time.
And some of the symptoms can result in looking like the virus, if you think about it. A sense of impending danger, breathing rapidly, weakness, tiredness, rapid heartbeat, feeling faint. Those are all symptoms of anxiety and also can be symptoms of the virus. Mail has a lot of information. I invite you to take a look. Also, Carrie Dale wrote a piece about a quest for my best self. I thought it was very good. That's also online under anxiety. An exploration of thoughts and feelings, and I thought it was very well done. I think that if you have something, the best thing to do today is learn about it, not scaring yourself.
Educate yourself about it.
Yeah.
That's the best option. Don't believe everything you hear, and don't believe people that you don't know. Follow them, because that's the wrong way to do things.
And sometimes there are groups online where you can become part of a group. So, with an anxiety disorder, it's out of control. You need to seek help. You'll know that if you cannot take care of this and your self-talk isn't working. If it requires a lot and you're feeling like you want to do harm to yourself, then you need to do 911. I know people are very scared right now of going into the hospital. And I think some of those fears are unfounded. Maybe in New York, they're not.
Yes.
But here, I think if you have symptoms, you're thinking you're having a heart problem, you don't want to die at home because you thought you'd get the virus
Right.
if you went. So
The virus might be doing more damage than you getting
Right.
assistance that you need.
So I think we need to balance out that, you know, we need to know how to take care of ourselves and when to take care of ourselves. So there's lots of information on the web. I wrote a poem. It's kind
Wow.
Yes, I know. It's kind of cheesy. Are the two of you willing to listen to it? And then, you know, Tony can always edit it out if he thinks it's too cheesy. So I wrote, like Solomon, I want clarity, discernment for today, to filter fact from fiction and clear my fears away. Dismantle my self-righteousness, indignation for others who disagree, who love our country just as much, but do not think like me. Travel is my companion, meet others on the path, not jaded, and not shifting ideas. This is an awesome task. As a prisoner of my perception, so lofty I can climb, alone and isolated, self-righteous and so blind. So, the fabric of my existence is not foolproof, no indeed. I'll add new threads of knowledge as I struggle to succeed.
Very good,
Thank you.
very good.
So I enjoyed today being with you, and I hope you enjoyed our presentation.
And thanks for listening.
Thank you.
I believe you can get me through the night. Ooh, dream weaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. Fly me high through the starry skies, maybe to an astral plane. Cross the highways of fantasy. Help me to forget today's pain. Ooh, dream weaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Ooh, dream weaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. Though the dawn may be coming soon, there still may be some time.